The 5 most thrilling BNB moments of the week November 17th to 21st. The bold and the beautiful turned things up this week. Luna's escape from prison triggered a chain of events that thrust November's sweeps into high gear, and every day brought something better than the last. Key takeaways. Luna escapes prison. Ivy continues to meddle in Elektra's relationship. Luna shocks Will. Deputy Chief Baker delivers news. Luna pops up at Will's beach house. Did anyone actually think prison would stop Luna, Lisa Yamada, from getting back to Will, Crew Moro? She escaped using the laundry cart and truck to prove to him that she isn't going anywhere. Just after Elektra, Linnea Grace, left, Luna made her way into the beach house, where Will was alone. She pleaded with him to consider their fairy tale, but he wasn't buying it. However, he did give her more time to talk than anyone else would have, likely due to the shock of seeing her out of prison. Ivy continues to meddle. And Ivy, Ashley Brewer, worries about Elektra. She wants her niece to understand what is coming due to the situation with Will and Luna. Despite doing her best to try to nudge her away from the Spencer boy, it appears Elektra isn't ready to give up on her boyfriend. The message to have Elektra meet her at Forrester is the reason Will was alone when Luna showed up. Ivy likely has good intentions, but the more she continues to pressure her niece, the more she'll want to spend time with the man she loves. Luna drops bombshell on Will. While trying to plead her case to Will, Luna tells him that she tried everything to keep their baby. She insinuates there was a miscarriage, though no evidence of that played out on BNB. Will believed her because her emotions surrounding the news seemed genuine. The hunt for Luna. After Luna escaped the beach house, there was a massive search party for her. The dark and foggy beach area had the escapee trying to dodge the helicopter spotlight, but it may have cost her everything. Katie, Heather Tom, Bill, Don Diamant, Taylor, Rebecca Budig, Deacon, Sean Cannon, Sheila, Kimberlyn Brown, Lee, Naomi Matsuda, Poppy, Romy Park, and Ivy all went out to look for her. At the same time, Will and Elektra stayed at the house. However, Luna made a mistake and ran out in front of a car. Luna's death. BNB did not show the aftermath of Luna running out in front of the car, but instead opened up with Deputy Chief Baker, Dan Martin, telling the Spencers about her death. The rest of the people in the search party were also grappling with the news in their own ways. Deacon struggled to sympathize with Sheila over the loss. Steffi, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, wants to be there for Finn, Tanner Novlin, but he seems to be keeping everything in. The Spencers lit a candle for the baby lost, while also acknowledging their relief that Luna is gone. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, tensions ignited, loyalties shattered, and hearts cracked open just enough to let secrets slip through. From unexpected alliances to delicious betrayals, the week of November 17th to 21st delivered a cascade of shocks that ricocheted through the Forrester universe with classic BNB turbulence. What follows is an in-depth, emotionally charged dive into the 5 biggest moments, complete with the intrigue, glamour, and velvet-gloved chaos that make this show a staple of daylight drama. 1. Steffi's Midnight Confession. When vulnerability meets danger in a quiet Forrester hallway. Steffi Forrester had spent the better part of the season projecting power, unflinching, unapologetic, and sharper than a diamond-cutting blade. But Monday night gave us something different. Something far more electric. Steffi alone in the darkened halls of Forrester Creations, staring at a single light left on in the design studio. It flickered like a heartbeat, soft and wavering, the way her spirit had been since that one night she refused to talk about. The moment she stepped into the studio, we could feel the emotional weight hanging on her shoulders. She wasn't just walking, she was carrying everything. The company's expectations, her family's legacy, her own haunted compulsions. What made the moment crackle was the camera's insistence on staying close to her, capturing each tiny quake in her expression. As she leaned over the drafting table, her fingers grazing the edge of a design she didn't remember sketching, the tension became unbearable. And then, quietly, shakily, she whispered, "I can't keep pretending. I know what really happened that night." There was the confession, not to anyone else, but to herself. A crack in the armor. A dangerous crack. And then came the twist. Liam, having returned to retrieve a forgotten laptop, overheard everything. The look on his face was equal parts fear, heartbreak, and dawning comprehension. But instead of confronting her, he slipped back into the shadows, leaving both Steffi and viewers suspended in a storm cloud of dread. This scene worked because it was intimate without being small, restrained without being dull. It promised consequences, revelations, and emotional explosions waiting just around the corner. It told us that Steffi, despite her control, is battling something precarious, something that could topple everything. And the best part? We still don't know what that night truly means. To Brooke and Taylor's truce that wasn't. For the children never stays about the children. Brooke Logan and Taylor Hayes have made more fragile truces than anyone on the planet. Fragile like glass blown too thin, the kind that shatters the moment a slight breeze hits. So when they met this week at Il Giardino for a peaceful lunch to set a new tone for the families, we all knew this was not going to stay polite for long. Still, the first few minutes were oddly genuine. Taylor arrived early, her posture composed, her smile soft but sincere. She even ordered Brooke's favorite rose, claiming, "A gesture can be the start of progress." Brooke, for her part, didn't roll her eyes, which is a sign of astronomical maturity in Brooke Logan units. But the calm didn't last, because it never does. The conversation swerved from neutral topics, RJ's new project, Hope's latest success, a charity collaboration, to Liam's growing instability. Taylor, ever the therapist, expressed concern about his emotional state. Brooke bristled. Taylor doubled down. Brooke retaliated. The rose trembled on the table. Then came the explosion. Taylor, you're guiding your children into chaos and calling it love. Brooke, at least I don't hide behind psychological jargon when I'm doing the exact same thing. The restaurant silenced. Truly silenced. Even the breadsticks seemed to stop midair. It was thrilling not because it was loud or fiery, but because it was bitterly honest. These two women, in a rare moment, weren't fighting about ridge or fashion or who wore what dress better. They were fighting about identity, legacy, and who gets to call themselves the better influence on their families. Their truce didn't merely fail, it combusted beautifully. As Brooke swept out of the restaurant, leaving her full glass behind, Taylor exhaled the kind of sigh that said this was only the beginning. And oh, it absolutely is. 3. Thomas's secret sketchbook reveal. When creativity crosses the boundary into obsession. Thomas Forrester has always danced on the edge of brilliance and obsession. But this week, the pendulum swung back toward obsession with the reveal of his newest sketchbook, hidden beneath bolts of imported silk, locked away as though